What's going on, YouTube? Americans love SUVs, and as such, it shouldn't come as a surprise that the most popular luxury segment is the compact crossover. For years, BMW and Mercedes have fought out for the top spot in this hot segment, and things are only getting more intense with the introduction of the all-new 2025 BMW X3 just now. So, with the Mercedes GLC recently being redesigned as well, which model deserves to dominate the sales chart? Let's go ahead and find out. So before we really get started here, we will establish things with the pricing for these two. Starting with the BMW, we have a very nicely equipped X3 30X drive with all the options people usually select for a total price of $60,875. Moving to the Mercedes, this is the GLC 300 4MATIC, with the same kind of options as the BMW. All told, after destination, we're setting a bit richer than the X3 at about $63,000. By the way, if you want to get the best price from local dealerships and access to invoice pricing info for these two models or any vehicle, we have a tool on our website to do just that. It's a great resource for shopping, so be sure to check the link in the description for more info. If you're new to our comparisons, we conduct them objectively. We have done our best to weigh the points awarded throughout in major and minor categories, and towards the end, we will revisit that price difference and discuss resale and reliability. But let's jump in with the exterior. Now, taking a look at the exterior designs, we have a very different approach despite them both having their respective AMG and M Sport design groups. Mercedes went with an evolutionary and classy approach for this new generation, while BMW certainly took a bold turn with the new X3. It has the latest BMW design language, and while we won't be awarding points based on design, we will award points for the lighting differences. X3 has projector LED headlights as standard equipment, while our GLC has regular reflector LED headlights unless you upgrade to the expensive digital light system. Continuing to the side, both come in around the same length, and you'll find nice looking contrast alloy wheels on both. The BMW has 21-inch alloys as equipped, compared to the Mercedes 19 inches. Of course, ride quality will be discussed later, but as we move around back, we will once again see very different approaches to the design. As equipped, they have rear spoilers, full LED taillights, and exposed exhaust outlets in the case of the Mercedes. If you want to tow, BMW has about a 13% advantage at 4,000 pounds as a maximum. Now, checking out some of the individual features, both of their mirrors are loaded and have heating, power folding, auto dimming, and blind spot monitoring. As far as the other safety systems, both models have all the regular systems, plus some extra fancy ones via their respective advanced safety packages. Speaking of extra, the BMW includes an extra 3 years of complimentary maintenance compared to none on the Mercedes. But the interiors are certainly the more important places, so let's go ahead and move on to those. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
As we walk up to the two crossovers and pull out the keys, you'll find smart entry systems and nice key fobs. BMW includes remote start on the fob itself, free for life. After opening up the doors, we have very modern looking interiors. Both are available in a wide variety of colors, and both of their seats are upholstered in faux leather as equipped. Most people would never realize that these aren't real leather because they feel and look very nice. But as far as the actual adjustments, the GLC does have the advantage with 16 ways of movement. Both also have memory functions, heating, and ventilation. Once inside the cabins, we can check out the overall material quality. Since the new X3 went for a more tech-forward approach, they did skimp out on some of the premium materials GLC has, and the previous generation used to have. The Mercedes uses extra leather trim across the upper part of the dash with stitching, real metal vents, and a very large amount of wood trim that water falls down the console. Overall, it pampers more than the X3. Taking a look at the gauges, both have giant 12.3-inch reconfigurable ones with great resolution. The Mercedes also has an available head-up display, but only the X3 will include that on most models. Coming back to the steering wheels, these two have high-end leather-wrapped wheels. Feel in the hand is excellent, especially when the heating function is on, but only the GLC has power tilt and telescoping adjustments. Now let's move on to interior storage. This is an area that is improved for the X3 this year, and starting with the center consoles, they both have a good amount of space. We measure console volume with donuts, and both can handle the same 10 donuts. The other interior cubbies also have roughly equal amounts of space, as well as wireless phone charging pads, so no points will be awarded for this section. Both models also have electronic shifters, just located in different places. And when you go into reverse, they have 360-degree camera systems, which include the fan favorite 3D surround views. And now that brings us to the volume controls. Besides for the different ways to turn the volume up and down, the overall audio quality is excellent in both. However, only Mercedes is including metal speaker grills. But now it's time to dive into climate. Here, those of you who prefer simple controls will be disappointed in both, but even more so in the BMW this year. It went to a fully digitized climate adjustment, even for controlling fan speed. Additionally, adjusting the vents is done with a tiny roller that is way harder to point while driving than in the Mercedes, awarding it a half point. These are both dual-zone automatic climate systems, by the way. Outside of the climate controls, we have a lot of other functions living inside the large displays. Size-wise, BMW takes a significant lead here, with a 22% advantage, 14.9 inches compared to 11.9 inches. Functionally, they have the same main features, including navigation, wireless Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay, all rendered with high-end graphics and high-end resolution. Finally, to wrap up the front of the interiors, both have auto-dimming mirrors and panoramic sunroofs. However, for the new generation, BMW moved to a fixed glass setup, so only the Benz's sunroof will actually open up. These crossovers are often used as small family vehicles, and all occupants will be happy with plenty of legroom and headroom in both models. Dimensionally speaking, they are nearly identical to each other. And as far as the features back here, both have rear air vents, and in the case of the BMW, we have a charging USB port. Moving out back, both have hands-free power tailgates, and once they open up, the X3 claims the lead here. It was already bigger than the GLC last year, and it gets larger for 2025. So, in both seating configurations, it has a significant cubic feet advantage. The seats can be folded 40-20-40 split in both, but more easily folded on the GLC since it has handles in the cargo area. There are also spare tires below the floor. But, as you can see, it's still a very tight race. So now, let's take them out for a spin and see who is going to come out on top. So heading out on the road with these two crossovers, Mercedes and BMW try to match each other tit for tat, which is typical for German automakers not allowing the other to get a significant advantage. As such, both are using 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engines, and have added mild hybrid systems as well. Hilariously enough, that translates to the exact same horsepower and torque figures on both of them, and they perform nearly identically out on the road.
All right.
Not bad.
There's up to 60 miles per hour. Now, granted, we are going a little bit downhill. We are on a little bit of a time constraint, so we, are doing what we can with what we have, but certainly a very quick 0 to 60 here in the X3. For this all-new model, we are going to be making 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque for this standard engine setup. It's a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, and boy, does BMW know how to do their 2-liter turbo 4s, because not only is it really refined, but it's also quite quick. 0 to 60 on this is 6 seconds, and that's the standard model. Nice.
All right, so there we are, accelerating up to 60 miles per hour. As you've known throughout this video, this is the GLC 300. To remind you what we said in the spec dump, it is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a mild hybrid setup, 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. The torque really is very nice, feels nice and punchy when you get off the line. As far as the rest of the powertrains, the X3 has an 8-speed automatic transmission, compared to a 9-speed automatic in the GLC. Both of them operate smoothly as they route power to the all-wheel drive systems.
Nice. Now, as far as the other aspect of the powertrain, let's talk about the transmission. We have an 8-speed automatic on all versions of the X3. It's a really nice, smooth ZF 8-speed automatic. Gets you your power exactly when you put your foot down. Really have no complaints.
As far as your transmission is concerned, you do have a 9-speed automatic. This is a nice and smooth transmission, just like it is in all the other Mercedes products. Now let's talk about ride and handling. Overall, both are more luxury-oriented than they are sporty, which does mean that they both ride very comfortably. As you might expect, the Mercedes is going to be dampened a bit softer for a few percent better ride comfort. But the BMW is going to prioritize handling more than the Mercedes, with better steering and body control while cornering.
But just kind of cruising down the highway section, I want to discuss overall ride quality for this X3. Now, we've spent several hours with this 30 model, and I have to say, I have been quite impressed with the overall ride quality. Now, compared to the M50 model, that's definitely going to have a little bit of a sportier edge. This 30 is going to be focused on luxury, and boy, does it feel good. When you hit a bump in the road, it does a great job of soaking it up, and that's even with the 21-inch alloy wheels that this particular model has. Now that we've kind of opened up and we're going around 50 miles an hour, I do want to also talk about your ride quality. Really everything in this segment has a very good ride quality, and that is going to be the case with this GLC 300 as well. Even if you choose the AMG line with the sporty exterior like what we've done on this model, the ride quality is still very luxury oriented, that's for sure.
Now while you're cruising down the highway, it's also very important for your luxury SUV to be serene. So let's check out the sound level ratings that we always collect here at Car Confections. The GLC comes in at an impressively quiet 52.1 decibels, but the X3 was tested out of state in South Carolina on a press drive. Because of the potential differences in variables, we won't award points, but here's its score for your reference until we test it back home in Kentucky.
And let's go 55 miles per hour.
56.4 decibels is what we'll be sitting at.
We've officially settled in at 52.1 decibels.
And lastly, for fuel economy, both are equipped with auto start-stop and mild hybrid systems, which make them incredibly smooth. This is also part of what's responsible for the fuel economy benefits. And while both are impressive, BMW takes the lead here, getting 3 mpg better combined. In our reviews and comparisons, we are also adding in reliability and resale information to give you a better picture of the overall value beyond just the original MSRP. Beginning with reliability, we developed the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. In this respect, the BMW pulls ahead. BMW is rated at exactly the industry average, giving it no points. But Mercedes is rated 4 slots below average, taking away 0.4 points. We also put Mason's economics degree to work to develop a detailed predicted resale value tool. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, they both are on the lower side for resale value. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly enough, both come in with the exact same predicted resale value of 41.19% after 5 years and 60,000 miles, giving no points to either of them. Resale is obviously important because it determines how much money you get back, but we can't forget about the price difference at the original purchase. There is a $2,195 difference between the two of them, which, based on our price scale, gives plus 1 point to the BMW. I want to emphasize that if money, reliability, or resale value matter less to you personally, feel free to disregard these points. And if you'd like to check out all our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head over to carconfections.com/resale and /reliability. Buying a car is a big decision, and this is a great place to compare all the vehicle makes you might be cross-shopping. Well, that's it for an exciting comparison between two German heavyweights in the compact luxury segment. But let's go ahead and recap a little bit and discuss who should be your personal winner based on what's most important to you. So the BMW should be your choice if you're looking for the best fuel economy. It's really quite exceptional, the fuel economy that it's able to achieve from a very similar engine. Also, you have more space in the cargo area, and you're looking at kind of better technology, easier to interface with.
Yeah, the Mercedes GLC, on the other hand, should be your choice if you value more luxury on the inside. Where they've redesigned the new X3, they definitely cheaped out a little bit on the materials front, so the GLC has a nicer cabin overall. It's also going to have a more comfortable ride compared to the BMW, and it has a little bit more of a traditional feel inside the cabin. You can adjust your vents just by grabbing them instead of using that little knob controller. So if you want a little bit more tech, choose the X3, but the GLC is going to be your more traditional luxury experience. Now, we want to know your thoughts down below. Are you taking the Mercedes GLC or are you taking the all-new BMW X3? Comment your thoughts down below. Also, if you're looking to buy either one of those vehicles or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. Well, guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this comparison. Hopefully you found it helpful and enjoyed watching this comparison between these two German luxury SUVs. If you did, we'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button down below. That helps us to make more comparisons like this, as well as our signature full reviews and other types of content. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.